Joy Behar issues a rare apology on The View. The View began recently with Joy Behar issuing a rare apology to the live audience and the viewing public. Joy Behar has been playing a more significant role on The View lately as the show has expanded into the weekends, and Whoopi Goldberg is not involved in it. The Weekend View is a new addition to The View, streaming exclusively on the weekends and showcasing hot topics that hope to attract new viewers. As Monsters and Critics has reported, some topics, like the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, may be too new for someone like Joy Behar since she seems unfamiliar with the ladies. If The View plans on bringing more Bravo topics, such as RHOBH or the Salt Lake City franchise, RHOSLC, Joy should binge a few episodes so that the segments will work better. Joy, who also moderated when Whoopi Goldberg was absent from The View, recently apologized to the audience. Here's why Joy thought to apologize to the audience. As a new episode of The View premiered midweek, Joy Behar sat in the moderator's seat, something she doesn't usually do other than Fridays. Joy felt she must mention that Whoopi Goldberg had been absent from her seat on The View as moderator for several days. Recently, Joy came out and said, "Hello, everyone, and welcome to The View. Whoopi will be back next week. She's out for the week, right? I'm sorry." The audience laughed awkwardly, and one member said, "You'll do it." This compliment made Joy feel better as she filled in for Whoopi. Although Whoopi already has a shortened work week, she has taken more time off lately, first for her role in Annie the Broadway musical, and now she is in Paris. Whoopi revealed she is in Paris for a fashion show by sharing photos on her Instagram story. The AMI Alexander Mathieusi Collections fashion show is slated for January 22, 2025. It is unclear if Whoopi is attending the show or is a featured model, but either way, she is ready to be a fashion statement. Another photo features shoes and accessories that Whoopi may wear at the show. While in Paris, Whoopi is visiting the Notre Dame Cathedral. After Joy shared that Whoopi was gone for the week, The View shared a video of Whoopi speaking about her visit to Notre Dame Cathedral on Instagram. Perhaps people started to question Whoopi and her whereabouts. Whoopi shared that she has not been to Notre Dame in over 30 years and shared some compelling videos about the sacred space. It was a typical morning on The View, with the co-hosts seated around the iconic semicircular table, sipping from their coffee mugs emblazoned with the show's logo. As the cameras panned across the studio audience, Joy Behar leaned back in her chair, adjusting her glasses and tapping her notes against the table. The veteran co-host had weathered countless debates, controversies, and fiery exchanges over her years on the show, but today there was an unusual weight in the air. The show kicked off with the usual energy. Whoopi Goldberg opened with a few light jokes, Sunny Hostin offered her sharp insights, and Sarah Haynes brought her usual upbeat commentary. But when the time came for Joy to take the floor, she visibly hesitated, an uncharacteristic pause from someone known for her quick wit and unfiltered opinions. "All right, everybody," Joy began, clearing her throat and glancing briefly at the audience before fixing her gaze on the camera. "I want to take a moment to address something I said earlier this week. As you know, we discuss a lot of topics on this show, and sometimes in the heat of the moment, things come out in ways that don't reflect my intention. And well, I got it wrong." A murmur rippled through the studio audience. The co-hosts turned to her, their expressions a mix of curiosity and support. Whoopi raised an eyebrow, but let Joy continue uninterrupted. It wasn't every day that Joy Behar issued an apology, and when she did, it meant something. Earlier this week, Joy continued, her voice steady but softer than usual. "We were talking about the recent teachers' strike in Illinois, and I made a comment about the profession that wasn't fair. I said something along the lines of, well, if teachers are so unhappy, maybe they should look for another job." Now, I'm paraphrasing here, but the point is, it came across as dismissive, and that's not how I feel at all. The audience's murmurs shifted to a quiet hum of understanding. The camera cut to Sarah, who nodded slightly, her expression empathetic. Sunny placed a hand over her chest, while Alyssa Farah Griffin, the conservative voice at the table, sat with her hands folded, listening intently. Joy's tone grew more earnest. "Teaching is one of the hardest, most important jobs out there. It's a profession that requires patience, intelligence, and a kind of selflessness that not everyone has. and to suggest otherwise, even unintentionally, was wrong. Teachers deserve our respect and gratitude, not off-the-cuff remarks that undermine their hard work. The studio audience broke into polite applause, but Joy held up her hand, signaling she wasn't finished. Now look, I've been on this show long enough to know that words matter. I've always prided myself on speaking my mind, but part of that means owning up when I miss the mark. And this time, I missed it. Whoopi finally chimed in, her voice gentle but firm. You know, Joy, I think what you're doing right now is what we all should be doing more of these days. Acknowledging when we mess up and trying to do better. It's not easy, but it's necessary. Joy offered a small, grateful smile. Thanks, Whoop. I'm not perfect, and I've never claimed to be, but I've heard from teachers and parents this week, and their messages really hit me. They're out there buying their own supplies, working long hours, and shaping the next generation. They're doing more than I ever could, and for that I'm sorry if my words made them feel undervalued. Sunny leaned forward, her voice full of warmth. Joy, I think a lot of people will appreciate you saying this. Teachers are the backbone of our society, and I know you've always been someone who supports education and fairness. This just shows that you're willing to listen and grow. The audience's applause grew louder, and Joy's posture relaxed slightly. She reached for her mug, taking a small sip before continuing. You know, I've been doing this for so long, I sometimes forget that people take what we say to heart. It's easy to get caught up in the moment and forget that our words have an impact beyond this table. So to the teachers out there, thank you for what you do. You have my utmost respect. Alyssa, who had remained quiet until now, finally spoke up. Joy, I think this is a good reminder for all of us. We sit here every day talking about big issues, and sometimes we don't fully understand the perspective of the people on the ground. But the fact that you're addressing it head-on says a lot about your character. Joy gave a self-deprecating chuckle. Well, let's not go overboard. I'm still a pain in the ass most days. The audience laughed, breaking the tension, and even Whoopi cracked a smile. The conversation shifted to the broader topic of accountability in public discourse. The co-hosts discussed the importance of owning up to mistakes, with Sunny highlighting the role of empathy in bridging divides, and Sarah emphasizing the need for respectful dialogue. Joy, now back in her element, contributed her usual mix of humor and insight, but there was a noticeable shift in her demeanor, a humility that resonated with the audience. As the show went to commercial break, the studio audience erupted into applause, a testament to the power of sincerity and accountability. Backstage, Joy was met with words of encouragement from the production team and her co-hosts. You handled that beautifully, Whoopi said, giving her a reassuring pat on the shoulder. Not everyone would have done that. Joy shrugged, her trademark wit resurfacing. Well, Whoop, I figured if I didn't, I'd have a mob of angry teachers picketing outside my apartment. The room erupted into laughter, and the moment, though serious, ended on a light note. Joy had done what few in her position were willing to do. She admitted she was wrong, apologized, and vowed to do better. It was a rare moment of vulnerability on a show known for its fiery debates, but it was one that would undoubtedly leave a lasting impression.